President Obama promised in Copenhagen. Now the White House is rolling out a new $5 billion plan here at home to create green jobs in the United States. But a new report shows most jobs to make green electric cars will be created outside of the U.S. Tracy, what do you make of all this?
Well, Cheryl, these jobs were supposed to be in the first stimulus bill. Where are they? Nowhere. Now we got more money going nowhere yet again, and the majority of these jobs will end up overseas. If we end up with an extra 100,000 jobs here, it'll be a miracle. Close to 1 million will end up overseas. We see it already. Solar panels, not made here in the U.S., made overseas. We're not doing anything to make these products. Sure, we're saying everyone should use them, but we're not doing anything to actually manufacture them here in the United States.
Steve, the manufacturing, the union costs here in this country do make it cost prohibitive.
Well, one of the things that report said is if we make the necessary investments in infrastructure in terms of places where you can actually plug in and refuel these electric cars, the amount of jobs that will be created in the U.S. will go from about 125,000 to 250,000. And a Yahoo report just came out and said of the top 10 green cars, 3 of them are in the U.S. One of them is a Chevrolet Aveo, and there's a Mercury and a Ford hybrid models. We're positioned to take advantage of this, but we do need some infrastructure.
I think it's funny you bring up Ford because Ford makes most of their cars in Mexico these days. Yeah. Jonathan?
Well, but I can tell you, did Henry Ford need a subsidy for the Model T? I mean, did Bill Gates need a $25 billion subsidy for Windows? No. I mean, subsidizing all these activities, Steve, the whole green initiative, actually destroys the real market mechanism. My friend, if it's going to work, it has to work for economic reasons, not just for political reasons.
Well, it's funny,
honestly, why must we make cars here?
It's funny that
we don't make computers here. We don't make cameras here.
It's funny that you brought up an IT thing because the government actually put the infrastructure of the internet in place back in the 60s and 70s.
Right. I forgot Al Gore created the internet.
In order for the IT revolution to take place.
Actually, more to the point, the auto industry got a huge subsidy in the form of a massively expensive highway program, which was the infrastructure you need so everyone can have a car and drive to everywhere they want. If we didn't have highways, it'd be a lot less cars sold in America. But it's relevant to the green thing. Look, we're not going to have the solar panels made here. Let's get that out of our head. They have labor costs that are a fraction of what they are here. They're going to make the solar panels in China. That's the way the world works.
They make them in China, Jonas. They make them in China.
The important thing is that the ownership of the intellectual property resides in America, and right now it does. The number one, the best electric car is made in America. The inventions are largely in America, and that's what we have to keep here, and government subsidies don't necessarily ensure that.
You're talking about spending $5 billion, and all they can say is we're going to create 125,000 jobs? You've got to be kidding me. We've lost 3.5 million since we spent $2 trillion so far. This is insane. Build infrastructure, let private enterprise do it. It works. Not this way.
Promises, Wayne.
Well, I think John is absolutely right. You know, I was reading right here that if you spend $100 billion is spent, this is the Center for American Progress, 1 million jobs will be created. That's a cost of $100,000 per new job. And by the way, there's a PERC study by Professor Andrew Morris on the PERC website that tells you the same thing. John is absolutely right. These are statistics that is going to break us by creating jobs. Why not just give the money to the people? Why don't the government just go ahead, as I said earlier, just hire us all? We can all work for the government.
Wayne, you look so collegial with the glasses. I'm digging the look this morning. All right. Well, thank you very much, Steve Laser, for joining us here in our studios in New York. It's great to see you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well,
I want Steve to come back as a girl, though.
Tis the season to last-minute shop, but buyer beware. Before you hit the stores, we have a